Burn the bread.
Hi, my name is Kaemen, also known as KaemenTheCreator, and I build awesome gadgets and I have fun with them. I'm from Ville Platte, Louisiana. I currently attend the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, where I study mechanical engineering, and I'm very excited to be part of this interview. I started building things when I was in high school, actually. My grandparents let me use their garage to create some of the things that I wanted to create when I was younger, and I never looked back since then. Now that I'm in college, I currently create things in my apartment. Even though I have limited spaces, I tend to scale my projects down to the amount of space I have. I would say one of my biggest inspirations is my grandfather. Unfortunately, he passed years ago, but when I was younger, I used to watch him work on his Ford truck all the time. And even though he didn't have the highest education, he might have not graduated college, he didn't graduate high school, even though that was his scenario, he always managed to find a way to create things and to make things work. So one of the biggest problems I had when I first started was I didn't have all of the resources I needed. So in some scenarios, I had to go to Home Depot and stores like Lowe's to find the things I wanted. And when I couldn't afford those things, I used some of the spare materials I had around the house and around my grandparents' garage to make the things I wanted to make. So far I've completed 7 projects that I've documented. At least I've completed more than 7, but I've documented 7 of them. Some of which include a flamethrower, a handheld gun flamethrower, a backpack flamethrower, an exosuit, as you could probably see here, and I've also created a trike, which I made out of the spare parts of an old 4-wheeler and an old bike that I used to have. So out of all of the projects I've mentioned, one of my most favorite projects is the exosuit. In fact, this suit was the hardest project I've made so far besides the flamethrowers, and the reason why is because it took me about half a year to come up with the design for it and for me to put it into works. This exosuit allows for me to lift heavier objects that I wouldn't be able to lift without it. So basically how it works is most of it consists of metal, and how it works is it basically relies on air power to power it, and that source of air comes from my air compressor below. And when this air compressor is connected to these hydraulics, they basically feed air into the hydraulics, and that's what allows for me to lift the arms and the legs up and down. So those are these silver cylinders that you see here. The way it simply works is I get inside of the exosuit, and once I'm inside of the exosuit, I have switches that I can either switch up or down, and depending on which way I switch it, that determines how the arms move and the legs move up and down. So that's just a basic idea of how it works.
It got super strength, bro. Alright.
So my most dangerous project yet is my flamethrower, and it's the backpack flamethrower. So basically how it works is these blue canisters here attached to a fire hydrant, and whenever I turn the gas, which is this is propane gas, when I turn the gas cylinder, all of the gas travels into the fire extinguisher. And when I pull this lever, which is simply a bike lever and a bike tube, when I pull it, the fire extinguisher activates and it shoots out gas from the tubes here. I am basically walking with a bomb on my back, and if the fire goes back, it could be catastrophic. On this here, at the very tip of the hose, is basically what you call a flame arrestor. So what a flame arrestor is it prevents flames from backfiring into the backpack, because there's always a chance that whenever I press the gas, and when the gas is lit, there's always a chance that it could backfire into the tube and possibly blow up the backpack. So this here is probably the most important part of this whole book set. So currently I am thinking about doing something pertaining to swimming. Something I've always wanted to do was be able to breathe underwater without having to resurface a few seconds later. So right now I'm going to work on like a CO2 powered oxygen mask that will allow me to breathe underwater whenever I stay under for longer than 2 minutes. So right now I'm on social media and I go under the name of KaemenTheCreator, where I showcase some of the projects I have created in the past and projects that I'm currently working on.
So you may know me as the guy who created Frozone's ice blasters using liquid nitrogen. Well, since its creation, I've decided to move on to a much bigger and better project, Spider-Man's web shooters.
So I decided to wear my Call of Duty Exosuit in public for the first time. And this is how it went. I nearly slipped in the beginning LMAO. The campus staff was very supportive.
Right now I currently have over 800,000 followers across TikTok and Instagram, and I'm expected to hit 1 million before the end of this year. So far, the whole experience has been overwhelming. I've been grateful to have worked with a lot of companies that I've always wanted to work with, and I get to do the things I love and show that to the world. In the future, I see myself doing the same things I am now, except with a degree in mechanical engineering and probably a team to help me film some of my videos, because right now I currently film them by myself. But in the future, I would of course like to work on internships while I'm in college, and after those internships, I would like to then get a job with a huge company, whether that be Lego, GE, or any company that deals with creation. So my advice to anyone who's thinking about going into engineering or any creative field is, before you go into that field, make sure that it's something that you really want to do. Because if you're really passionate about what you're doing, you will do great work. And along the way, learn from those around you, because you can gain a lot of knowledge from doing that, and you can improve on your content if you decide to make content. But whatever you do, make sure that you really enjoy it, because you will do great work.